Hey guys, welcome back to the Woolen Homestead. This is a video podcast all about knitting, spinning, and hand dyeing yarn. My name is Tiffany, and I'm coming to you from Midland, Michigan. You can find me as the Woolen Homestead on various social media, as well as the yarn that my husband and I dye at thewoolenhomestead.etsy.com. You'll also find links below in the description box to all those places. So hello everyone, happy Monday. Today is January 15th, 2018, and it is episode 48, so yay! I have a lot to talk about. I originally wasn't going to be able to podcast today, which I will get into more about that in life stuff at the end of the podcast. But I thought I would start out with what I'm wearing. So today I've got on this sweater that I knit back in 2013. And this is the Owl Sweater by Kate Davies. And yeah, this was my very first sweater. So it's bulky weight, and it's out of Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. And it's 100%, I believe it's Peruvian wool. And yeah, it's very warm. I feel like this could like replace a winter coat some days. Like it's really, really warm because it's just so thick. So yeah, and it's got like waist shaping on it. And yeah, I really like it. I think it's a great first sweater pattern, so highly recommend it. So I thought I would start out this week talking about group news like I usually do. So we do have a Ravelry group for the Woolen Homestead, which you can find by searching for the Woolen Homestead in the groups tab on Ravelry. And there you can join the group and you can join in on our knit-alongs. And you know, if we've got giveaways going on and things like that. So right now the knit-alongs that are going on are the 2018 Basket of Mittens knit-along, and that's a year-long one. It's co-hosted with my friend Carrie, who is My Wool Mitten. And the hashtag is Basket of Mittens Cal 2018, so if you want to join in, go ahead and use that hashtag. And we are just knitting mittens together, so there's no minimum requirement. Doesn't matter who you knit for, just knit mittens and go ahead and pop them in the finished objects thread, and works in progress are definitely allowed, so go ahead and join in. Then we've also got the Battle the Brioche knit-along, which is running, that will be going until the end of February. And the hashtag for that is Battle the Brioche 18. And works in progress are also allowed for that. And there is no finished objects thread. So it's just one main thread, and just post your progress. And it's more of a, like a progress thing. So, you know, you don't have to finish anything for this knit-along to be eligible. And then I thought that it would be kind of fun to do a spin-along. And what happened was I posted a video yesterday about this project that I'm spinning, and I had a comment saying that it'd be really fun to do like a spin along together, and I just thought that was a great idea. I don't know why I never thought about that, but I just think that's an awesome idea. So I am totally in, and I think let's do it. So I haven't started anything yet in the group, but let's just go for it. I'm gonna allow works in progress like usual, and then I think what we'll do is just I'll have it go until I finish my sock project that I've got going on. I'm spinning for socks, so, and I'm still pretty much at the beginning of it, so it should be a good bit. And then if for some reason I finish it super fast and we want to still keep going, we'll just keep it going. But yeah, I thought that was a really good idea, so let's do it. And I would say feel free, whatever you're spinning on, just go ahead and post it. It doesn't have to be anything specific. Let's just spin together. If you're spinning for socks like I am, that's cool too, because I would love to see how you guys go about it and what you do. But honestly, anything that you're spinning is totally eligible. So yeah, we'll get that going. I think that would be really fun. I also thought it would be a really neat idea to do like Instagram live and do spinning instead of like just knitting, or even YouTube live. So I thought that would be kind of fun. That was actually Ethan's suggestion, and I thought that was really cool. So let me know what you guys think of that, and maybe we can like set up a date for it instead. Usually if I do a live, I just kind of pop on whenever, because I just never know if I'm gonna have time. But I thought that'd be kind of cool. Maybe we could schedule it, we could all, you know, spin together, you know, why not? So you know, and that way if anyone had any questions about spinning, if they're, you know, wanting to get into spinning, that would be a good way to to ask questions, and there'd be, you know, if you're an experienced spinner, you know, we could ask experienced spinners as well. So I just thought that would be neat. And then also in the group, we've got an introductions thread, and we've had a couple of introductions this week. So thank you guys for popping in there and introducing yourselves. I would love anybody, if you want to pop in there and write an intro, that would be awesome. And then we've also got an ask away thread, so any questions you have, feel free to pop them in there. So that is that's it for group stuff, and I believe that's any administration stuff that I wanted to get out of the way. I do not have any finished objects this week, but I do have some works in progress. So the first one I'm going to show is my Songbird Myths by Erica Heuser, and they are in this sweet little mustache bag that Linda had made for me. My friend in Canada put this sweet little Canada pin on there. And I worked on these quite a bit, and I'm really, really excited how far I got. Even, I feel like I worked on them quite a bit, like through like a couple of days, and the progress I got, I'm really, really happy with. So the progress keeper on here shows where I was last week. So this is where I'm at now, and oh my gosh, I am so excited. It looks so neat on camera. Yeah, I'm so excited. I just this morning got to the decreases for the top of the mitten. So I really want to work on this tonight and get that done. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. The yarn that I'm using, they're both superwash. They're actually our Sturdy Sock base, which is a 75% superwash merino and nylon, and 25% nylon. And I'm just using an undyed version. And then I'm also using this blue that I dyed up myself. It's just a one of a kind, but it's just a blue base with little flecks of like red and pink in there. And it just kind of gives it this neat, very, very subtle effect in the mittens. But I love it. So super excited. And then I got this, just got this morning. My father-in-law gave this to me. It's a little paperweight. So when I'm, you know, working on my chart, I can just pop the paper in there and it'll stand up, and I don't have to worry about propping it up against anything. So I was kind of struggling with that this morning, and he brought that in for me. So thank you, Mark. So yeah, I'm really, really stoked about that. Oh, I didn't show you guys the back. Goodness, I don't even know if I showed you that last time. So this is what the back looks like. And I feel like my tension is much more even back here because there's not as many long floats versus over here. But, you know, I'm still getting the superwash, or I'm sorry, I'm still getting the color work under my belts. So I'm hoping maybe with some blocking, it will even out a little bit. I'm trying to like do the block as you go, like Patricia of the Knitography podcast had talked about. And basically she just said, you know, after you do a couple rows, put your mitten onto your cables and then just kind of like tug at it back and forth and up and down and just kind of get it that way. So I think that's really made a difference actually for me, because I started doing that about a quarter of the way in while I was working on these this week, and I think that's really, really made a difference, because down here it's a little more bumpy. But yeah, I'm hoping what I learned from this mitt I can kind of transfer onto the second one. So loving that project right now, and I highly recommend the pattern. It's great. The next project that I'm working on, which is for our Battle the Brioche knit along, is my Excuse Me shawl by Stephen West. Did not get a ton of this done, but I did want to show it to you since we are having the knit along, and I just added in a new color this week. So I thought I would share. So here's where we are. Like, I literally put in, what, 3 rows, but I'm really happy with it. So the new color that I added in is actually one of our fall colors, but we do still have a few skeins in the shop. We're just going to keep them in there just in case anybody does want to buy them at some point throughout the year. But this is our Candy Cornucopia colorway, and I'm just so in love with how this is knitting up in this shawl. I think it worked out really well being right next to the Aurora colorway, That's this one. That's our Aurora colorway, and because it's got flecks of orange and yellow in there. So I just thought that worked out great. And then this blue is our Life is the Bubbles colorway. So hoping to get some of those back in. Aurora's in stock right now, but I haven't had Life is the Bubbles in there in forever, so I'd like to get some of those back in. And then I'm just using this one-of-a-kind, kind of a purpley blue, all sorts of colors actually, as my contrasting color. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. So I'm just kind of doing like a varying lengths of rows, nothing specific, and I'm just kind of going with it how I feel like it, and it's kind of working out. So I'm really, really happy with that. Oh, and I should mention that this little progress keeper is it's a little narwhal from Sugar Tots on Etsy, and I just think it's so cute. And I am using the size 4 Looka needles, and I love them for this product, or for this project. I love, love, love them. So very happy with that. I'm considering asking for a interchangeable set of those someday, because I really, really like them. Let's see. Okay, so my next work in progress, I did not get much done at all, but I did a ton of swatching for this week. So if you follow me on Instagram, and you follow any of my Instagram stories, you will have seen this. So I had put up that I was swatching for my sweater, and I had done a gauge swatch, and I was running into trouble with the amount that the numbers that I was getting. So this is the first swatch that I did, and this is using a size US 6, and I did it in the round, and then I cut the ends and blocked it. And the gauge called for 22 stitches per 28 rows for 4 inches, and I got 20. Maybe it was 21 stitches. Actually, I have the pattern right here. Okay, so the gauge was 22 stitches per 28 rows. And I believe I had got 21 I was just off by 1, and it was really, really close. Well then, so I put it out on Instagram, you know, should I, you know, should I just leave it, or should I go down another needle size? And what I ended up doing with, and you guys gave me a ton of information and suggestions, which was awesome. I got so many website recommendations, worksheets and things, and I really, really appreciated that. I actually learned a ton about swatching, so thank you. And so I decided to go down a needle size and try that. So I did the next swatch in a size US 5. So the first was US 6, this was a size 5. And, oh, this is the 6 again. Okay, so this is the 5. And, yeah, I blocked it, and because this is super wash, it kind of, you know, stretched out a ton, but I didn't, like, physically stretch it out, just, like, as I was, like, getting the water out of it, and I placed it down to dry, it was very, like, loosey-goosey and everything. So I tried to not mess with it and just lay it out flat to dry to see how it would behave. And when I took gauge after it dried, it looked like I still had 21 stitches again. So I didn't really understand why that happened. But then sometime, like, because I tested it like a couple of times. I like measured it a couple of times. And like sometimes I would have 22 and sometimes I didn't. And then one time I had like 20. Oh, it was so weird. But when I had 20, it still wasn't dry yet because I was getting impatient. So that's probably why that was. But yeah, so I was going to swatch again, going down to size 4. Because this is superwash, because I know how superwash tends to behave, I didn't want it to be like a super huge sweater, you know, where it's just too big. Because it does have like 4 inches of positive ease written into it. But I went to go swatch again, and then I started to freak out a little bit because I realized like I really started to use up like a lot of yarn, and I didn't really know how much I would have left to actually finish the sweater. And it's a partially cabled sweater, which uses up a lot of yarn. So I I decided that I would just go down the 1 needle size because it was super close. And then, because I didn't want to run out of yarn. But I went down 1 needle size and then I recast on the cuff. So this is kind of where I'm at. I really wanted to be able to get started, but I wanted to have gauge swatched first. And so that's what I got cast on this week. So it's just a teeny little cuff. It's just enough to say that it started. And yeah, so I think that was a good choice. Like when I did my brioche hat, the vintage prim hat, those were both out of superwash yarns, and I went down 2 needle sizes, and that was perfect. Like it was perfect because it was a little like snug at first, but it stretched out so much that it ended up working out perfectly. So I probably could have gone down to the 4, but I didn't. I don't know, I didn't want to risk it. I figured going down 1 would be safer. So hopefully that was the right decision. But I figure it's better than keeping it at the regular needle size. So here's one of the skeins of yarn that I'm using. The other is really wonky, so I'm just going to show you this one. But this is yarn that I dyed. This is on our Polworth DK base, and which is a superwash, like I said, and it is our Marvelous colorway, which I did not come up with that name myself. I totally stole that from a bottle of Sally Hansen nail polish, but I thought it was so funny, so I grabbed it. But yeah, and I just want to mention real quick, I've got the dogs up here and I can hear them kind of shuffling. I don't know if Ella's gonna grab her antler again and start chewing on it, but I think she's just laying down. So yes, that is my Gin and Tonic sweater by Thea Coleman. I cannot wait to get that going. But yeah, so let's see here. Okay, so next is spinning. So like I said, I posted a video yesterday about like come spin with me type thing, where I'm showing you like the journey of taking the fiber and then making it into yarn. So, and like I said, I'm doing 100% merino and making it into a 3-ply yarn and making socks out of it. So, and once again, not the best use for 100% merino, but the fiber just screamed socks to me, so that's why I'm going with it. And you only live once, so why not? So I will post a picture here of the of like a bobbin shot, and yeah, I'm really happy with where I'm at right now. This is one of the nests of fiber, and so this is one of the skeins that I'm spinning up, and then this is going to be the other one. They came as a set, and it's from Fox and Flower, which she was on Etsy. I got this for Christmas back in 2016, and I went to go look her up on Etsy and I couldn't find her. So she's on Instagram, I know that, and I know she was posting stuff recently around the end of the year. So I think she's still up and running, but the link to her website and her Instagram didn't work. So I would maybe give her a follow and then just kind of see from there. But like I said, it's 100% merino. It's in the Cheshire colorway, and the whole thing is 4 ounces. So each of these braids are 2 ounces. So I think this is gonna be so much fun. So I can't wait. And then I'm making it into a 3-ply. Like I said, for socks, and I'm chain plying, and I'm not doing a traditional 3-ply because I don't have like a proper lazy Kate. I just have one that's on my wheel that just has a spot for 2 bobbins to ply. And the wheel that I have is an Ashford KB2. I love it. It's a great beginner wheel, and it's a fairly good price point as far as spinning wheels go. And so this is the little sample that I made, and I just think it's going to be really fun. I think this is slightly thicker than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. I kind of took a bit of a long break between spinning, and so I kind of feel like I needed to refresh and kind of get back into the groove. So I feel like I'm kind of there now that I've been spinning a little bit more consistently on it. And then I also made this little, I took this little swatch of this little sample off of the skein, And so I'm kind of going for this like thinner area in here versus like this thicker area. So that's what I'm doing. And I totally forgot I have a control card too, and so I want to get that out. I actually got it right here. And so I'm thinking I will use this to kind of help check my singles as I'm spinning them as well. So I got this for Christmas last year, and I believe this is from Katrinkles. And yeah, I just think it's really, really awesome. It's got a wraps per inch spot down here, and then you can just check, you know, what your singles are like. So yeah, I just love it. So I was actually mistaken. This is actually by Burning Impressions, which was from Etsy. So yeah, really, really love this to check where you're at for your spinning. So let's see. Oh, and I also wanted to mention that when I was on YouTube, I was looking up videos about my wheel. And so when I typed in Ashford QE2, and I found a video from the So Perfect Pearls podcast, and I watched her video on it. It was when she first got hers, and which was a while ago now, I think maybe a year or so ago. And she was just kind of talking about it, and then she did like an update version of it a little bit later on, and like it was just so much fun to see what she had done with the wheel, and what she's spun with it. And she got me really, really excited to get back into my spinning like full force. So I really, really enjoyed that. And then I started watching her podcast as well, which I highly recommend it. It's a really great one, so go check her out. Her name is Jade, and she just puts out a great podcast. So yeah, I think that's it for spinning. And then, oh, next I have something totally new, which I've never had on the podcast, which is some embroidery. So I got this set from my aunt back in high school. Well, maybe it was even early college. It was around 2007, 2008. And I had every intention of working on it and embroidering, and I just never got to it. But I never wanted to get rid of it because I knew I wanted to do it someday. But basically it's all these little blocks of Sunbonnet Sue, and she already had them all cut out for me and everything. And so they were all printed in this like red marker, and then you just, once you are done embroidering it, you wash it, and that goes away. So you can see the parts that I already did, and it just is doing what's called a stem stitch, and it's super simple, so relaxing. Like, I'm loving this. I'm loving it so much. And I'm just using like DMC embroidery floss. It says to use like 2 strands, and yeah, really, really happy with it. And so yeah, it's this monthly quilt, and you just embroider these little guys every month. There's one for every month. I figure I'll try and just do one a month, and then you can make a quilt out of it at the end, and it tells you how to do that. So I thought that would be a great way for me to get into some quilting. And but yeah, these are some of the little guys. I don't have them pressed right now because I had kept them in this bag forever, but like there's February. They're just so cute. So yeah, I'm really, really excited. But like I said, one for every month, and I cannot wait to do more with that. And then let's see. Okay, next I'm going to talk about acquisitions. So I got a package the other day, and I got a text from Ethan that said, hey, you got a package from Fond du Lac. And I was like, man, I only know one person there, and that's Steph, which is my best friend. And I'm like, that's weird, you know, I wonder what she would have sent me. And then I was like, unless it was somebody else, but I don't know anybody else there. So at least I don't think I do. Maybe I do, but she was the first person I thought of. And so I came home, and there was this package waiting for me. And so I opened it up, and there's this sweet little card where it's got these little knit stitches, and she drew a little yarn ball and a little sock. And it turned out it was from my best friend Stephanie, and she had sent me this skein of yarn. And so this is from her local yarn shop, and which I can't remember the name of her shop that is local to her, but it's in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. And it is Windy Hill Fibers in the Galaxy colorway. And they have an Etsy shop, which is etsy.com/shop/Windy Hill Fiber. And oh my gosh, it was so perfect. So like when I opened it, I just freaked out. I called her and I was just like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I love it. And it's just, it's so me. So I love it so much. So I can't wait to figure out what to make with it. But I originally thought socks, but then I'm thinking maybe something with brioche would be really, really fun. So it might have to be that. But thank you so much, Stephanie. I loved it. So it's awesome because Stephanie is my best friend from high school, but then she's also become my best knitting friend as well because she's gotten into knitting. She's become a knitter with a capital K, and she's watching podcasts, and it's so much fun. So it's great having your best friend also be your best knitting friend. So thank you, Steph. I love it so much. So that is it for acquisitions. And then now I'm going to move on to shop stuff. So like I said at the beginning, my husband and I have an Etsy shop where we sell our hand-dyed yarns, which is the woolenhomestead.etsy.com. And each week on Fridays we have a shop update. So this Friday the 19th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time we will be having another shop update. So Ethan will be dying for that, I believe on Wednesday. And then I will show you guys what we currently have in the shop. So we just added a new colorway this Friday, and I haven't been able to show it on the podcast yet. So this is Morning Raindrops, and it's just this really pretty like cream base, but then it's got like grays and blues and yellow speckles, and it's just so pretty, and I just love it so much. So that's Morning Raindrops, our new little guy to the Woolen Homestead lineup, and I love it. It's so pretty. I think like it really goes well with a lot of our tonals that we've got out. Like this is Warm Sunrise Yellow and Morning Raindrops. I just think those would work really well together. So Warm Sunrise Yellow is also in the shop, and these are all on our sturdy sock base, which like I said is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon base. And then we've got Stormy Night, Northern Pine, Tranquil Blue, So Fetch, because if you haven't figured it out, I love Mean Girls. Love it. We've got Blueberry Crumb Cake, an oldie but goodie. This is actually one of our most popular colorways, is Blueberry Crumb Cake. It's one of the first ones that I had dyed up. We've got Solstice Twilight, Purple Poppy, Earl Grey, Sugar Plum Fairy, Aurora, Back to the Fuchsia, and on Polworth DK we have Dr. Filibuster's Fireworks. And we also have Candy Cornucopia, which I forgot to grab out, which is the one that I showed you guys in my Excuse Me shawl. So that is it for what is in the shop, and I hope to see you guys there at the shop update this Friday, January 19th at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then next I'm just going to go into life stuff. Also my battery's flashing, so I'm going to try and speed this up. Today I was supposed to be out in Elma at Carrie, who's my woman, and I was supposed to go to her farm today. But we had just the craziest weather today. It's been snowing and it's just not safe to drive. So there's supposed to be a couple of us going out there, and we just thought it was best if we canceled today. So yeah, we're planning to maybe go out in the spring when the sheep are going to be sheared and everything. So I cannot wait to go out and visit you, Carrie. I'm so looking forward to it. But I'm really bummed we didn't get to go out there today. But let's see. Also this last Tuesday, I got to meet up with Lacey of the Hooked on Owls podcast and her sister, so that was so much fun. We met up at one of the coffee shops down the road from me, and it was just a blast. We just laughed and we were just like instant friends, so it was great. So much fun to meet you guys. And Lacey, I want to show you guys this too. Lacey, sweet as can be, and she brought she brought a little gift for me. So it was so cute. So she brought me a bunch of teas, which I'm actually drinking. She brought me a Tazo Wild Sweet Orange as well. And she brought me these other teas. I love Wild Sweet Orange. That was the first one I got into. I, believe it or not, actually saved the chocolates. I'm beside myself. I can't believe that I did that because usually it's gone, but this is like my little emergency chocolate. So in case I need it and I don't have any, I've got it. It'll probably be gone tonight. Am I kidding? But she also gave me this sweet little bee progress keeper, which I love. I'm terrified of bees in real life, but I love them like in print or like, you know, little charms like this. Love them. I think they're so cute. And then she also gave me these little minis for my scrap blanket. So these were just some minis that are from her projects that she's been working on. This one is, this is Araucania, and the colorway is Andean Condor. And so that's just really pretty. Those are totally my colors as well. And then she sent me this one. And this is Wonderland Yarns in Tea Time Earl Grey colorway. So pretty. And then there's this one, which is a Deborah Norville in the Chili colorway. So yes, thank you so much, Lacey. I cannot wait to add those to my blanket. I'm so excited. So I played battery roulette and lost. So I had to charge the battery really quick because I'm almost done. But let's see here. So yeah, Lacey and I met up and it was super, super fun. And then other than that, the other biggest thing that happened to me this week was I drove the manual by myself, like successfully. I didn't crash into anything, and I'm really, really excited about it. I drove to work and to the gym a couple of times this week, and the only time I stopped was when we started getting snow like periodically on and off this week. So I stopped then because I just didn't feel comfortable yet. But yeah, I'm finally getting the hang of it and I'm stoked. And yeah, so I'm hoping I can start using that car more often than my Impala. So other than that, I think that's it for you guys this week. Yeah, I wanted to share with you guys what I was drinking. So like I said, it was the Tazo Wild Sweet Orange tea. And then I love this mug and I just think it's so worth mentioning. This is a mug from Julia Smith Ceramics on Etsy. And it's just the cutest dang thing ever. I'm obsessed with this mug. I love it. Personally, I wish I would have bought a bigger one because I like really big mugs. This is just like probably like 8 ounces maybe, which is totally fine and it's great and I love it. But I kind of wish I would have thought I hadn't and bought a bigger one, but I love it so much. It's so cute and so worth it. So that is what I'm drinking. And then yeah, I think that's all I've got for you guys. So come on, join the Ravelry group, participate in the knit-alongs and the spin-alongs. Let me know what you guys think about that. And yeah, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like. And I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!